Hey guys, it's Lisa. I am here with an out of the pocket Sunday and a layout, a 12 by 12 layout that I did a couple of weeks back. And I just wanted to share it with you guys. So I am using the November 2015 Ain't No Sunshine kit by Scraptastic. So here I have my photo chosen, and it was a 4 by 6. I think I trimmed it a little bit widthwise, and I decided to go ahead after I was looking through the different papers that we got with that kit and trying to decide how I wanted to back it. Now, the thought process I had when I chose this photo was that I wanted to really showcase the photo and have it be the main, focus on the page. I don't really know if I accomplished that, but I had a lot of fun trying anyways. So this 12 by 12 cardstock is textured and has like kind of that chevron texture, and it's by American Crafts, and I just thought it would be perfect because I did want some texture in this layout, and I thought the chevron kind of went along with the photo, which was taken in Red Rock Canyon when my husband and I flew out to see my kids in Las Vegas. So a lot of these papers, the one that I'm working with right there was, let's see, My Mind's Eye from the My Story collection, and then that one that I'm working with there, the Aztec-y black and gray and white one, is from Maggie Holmes Shine collection called Dearest, and I fell in love with that paper, and I knew that I wanted it to be the layer behind the mat that I did out of that kind of a goldish color. And like I said, I wanted the photo to be kind of showcased, and I think that in the end I think that it did end up showing up in the layout, but I think maybe it was a little bit too busy. But I think that, when we end up with a layout, we kind of look back and we may critique ourselves and go, well, was it the way that, I kind of had pictured it? And it kind of was in a way, but then again, I think that probably a lot of the patterns took maybe away from the photo. But so here I'm just trying to decide what other patterns that I want to use, and in the other colors that I wanted to use in here were like, I wanted to use gold, I knew I wanted black, I knew I wanted white. I loved the contrast of the black and white. I love using black and white in my pocket pages also, and I think there was also a little bit of pink that I ended up pulling out of this layout also. So here I'm just making a little banner because I didn't like the way that it was just square at the end, and I thought that would give it a little bit of interest and kind of shape. So I'm cutting that, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of adhere that down with my adhesive. And I end up distressing the edges with my Tim Holtz. Let's see what color this is. It is called Black Soot, and I use it for a lot of different things. I do like the contrast between the dark and the lights, so I end up taking that and distressing the edges. So here I am thinking and trying to decide what I'm going to do. Sorry, Polly was trying to come in and join us. Um, and yeah, so I'm distressing the edges here. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to figure out which other layering piece of paper that I want to use. I just absolutely loved this collection, the My Story collection, and I loved the Scraptastic Ain't No Sunshine kit because it had the Maggie Holmes Shine in it, and it had the My Mind's Eye, My Story, and just the combination of the two and the colors were just definitely right up my alley. So here I'm trying to kind of get an idea of what little embellishments I kind of wanted to add into as I was putting in the different colors. And I think I already told you what the name of that paper was. Yeah, I did. It's actually called Look at This Paper is the name of it, and I really liked the shapes on it. I liked the color, and I thought that it looked nice behind that black and white little, I call it Aztec. It's kind of like a southwestern theme. So this photo, it was amazing because I had my camera, my phone as a camera that day. So we were traveling through Red Rock Canyon, looking at all the sights, And you know, we were standing there looking out looking out at like the mountains, and it was blue skies, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And then I saw this bird, and I don't know how I captured it. It was really amazing because it was really far away, and at the end I was just like, totally amazed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got that in there with a phone. It's amazing the things we can do with our phones nowadays. So I just love photography, and I just absolutely loved this photo. So I knew this was one of the ones that I wanted to put in the 12 by 12 layout. So I'm so indecisive, and I think this is probably one of the main reasons why I don't do more 12 by 12 layouts. Here I'm trying to decide how I was going to do my journaling, how I wanted to lay out things, and I kind of like to do that before I start sticking things down. I don't know how you guys do it, but I get my layering figured out, and then I kind of figure out what pieces I want to bring into the layout and how I want them to line up and lay out and things like that. And then I can kind of go ahead and decide what other colors I want to bring in. So here I also knew that I wanted to bring a little bit of gold in. I end up doing that at the end. And then I figured out this little tag which says yeah. I end up cutting that part off because it just didn't go with the pink. It was just didn't end up making it on there. But um, what I had decided to do was to go ahead and type out my little bit of journaling that I had. I didn't really have too much that I wanted to say because the photo was pretty self-explanatory, but I just wanted to kind of remind myself about where we were and things like that. But I typed it out, and then I knew that I wanted to cut it into little strips of paper, which I started doing that probably right around the time I started doing 12 by 12 layouts, and I really like that look. So here I am fudging around with those darn glasses. Those glasses, like, I loved those glasses, and I really wanted them to make it on the layout, and after all that, they don't even make it on there. So they hang out with me and stuff like that, but they don't end up on there. So here I am. I knew I wanted a cluster in the lower left, and I wanted a cluster right where the little tag is. So here I wanted to add a little bit more of the black and white contrast in that lower left-hand cluster, and I wanted to go ahead and make another little banner there so that it would kind of blend in with the top. And I just loved that paper. And that paper, oh, what was that? I don't remember exactly what the name of that paper was. Oh, I don't have that in front of me. I apologize. But here's when I decided I wanted to go ahead and back the white with the black and white stripe. That black and white stripe is My Mind's Eye, my story, and it's called Heirloom Roses Paper. And on the back of it, I'll show you once I cut it out, because I cut the middle of it out because the other side of it is so gorgeous. I said I cannot waste all of that. So I flip it over after I cut it out, and you'll see it's just gorgeous flowers. It's just a gorgeous floral pattern. So here I'm going to go ahead and just put that, I trim it down, and then I put it on there. And I think at the end I kind of wish that I had left maybe a little bit more of that striped pattern, because I just absolutely died over it. I just loved it. And I thought that it really kind of put a nice frame around that, considering the colors that I was using in the layout. So here is where I decide that my photo is getting lost. So even though I thought I chose, you know, fairly good colors so that the photo wouldn't get lost, I thought, yeah, I got lost. So I decided to cut out some little strips of black paper and go ahead and just kind of tuck them in behind there. And I think that I accomplished what I wanted to there. And then I went ahead and took my sewing machine, and I used like a zigzag stitch because I thought it went along with the theme, and I went ahead and stitched it up. And then on the back there, I always use some washi tape to cover up the stitching so it doesn't come undone. So so I love stitching on my layouts. It's a lot of fun. I have this little, not really expensive machine that I got at Michael's. And here I'm going to go ahead and take those little strips. Like I said, I kind of knew at the beginning that's what I was going to do. So I put them on the tag, and it says, while we were sightseeing in Red Rock Canyon, I just happened to capture a picture of this bird in flight. Everywhere we looked, there was beauty in nature, simply a magical day, which it really was. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous out there, and on top of the fact that I got to see both my sons, because one is stationed in Nevada and the other one's in New Mexico, and he was actually driving out to a wedding, so it was perfect timing. So here I took a little bit of twine. I'm showing you what it is. It's called Linen Thread by Stampin' Up. I've had that forever, for years, and I decided to add that. I wanted to add a little bit more texture. And then on the lower left, I went ahead and added a little bit of that twine behind that acrylic piece that came in our kit. And that's an exclusive acrylic piece that came in with that month's kit. And I thought that yellow color kind of blended in nicely with everything else. So here, that flare badge that says story on it, I loved the font. I thought it went really well with the rest of the collection, and put that up there. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down with some of the foam tape. And then I wanted a little bit more black to go on that lower left little cluster, just to bring your eye down there. And then I added a little bit more under that tag. And if you can see that, I cut that off at an angle because I just didn't like the square. It was kind of squared off, that tag, and I have issues with like things that are too square or too even. And then my husband's got like OCD with, he doesn't like things like uneven, and he likes everything. It's kind of funny how, you know, we ended up together because we were like total opposites as far as that go, but everything else is like total compatibility, so it's just interesting. But here I decided to put that at an angle, and that is that butterfly paper, which, trying to think which paper that is. That is the My Mind's Eye. It's called This Moment paper, and it's so pretty. So here I knew I wanted a couple different clusters of that twine, and then I found these gold shiny by Mombi and their hearts, and I thought that would kind of add a little bit more gold, and I wanted to put one down there and then another heart up by the flare badge. So I put that up on that foam tape, like I said, and I also, I think I ended up putting a little heart right beside it just to add a little bit of gold. I had a lot of fun doing this layout, and I think that I was saying that the reason I don't do a lot of 12 by 12 layouts is because it takes me forever. I just fudge around with it too long, and I just, excuse me, the allergies, my allergies are acting up. It just takes me forever to get things like adhered down, and yeah, so anyways, it's okay though. It was a lot of fun. So here I decide that I liked the Today, but then I found this Simply by Heidi Swapp, and I fell in love with it. It is a wood veneer piece. And I decided to call this Simply Photo Worthy, which to me, it seemed like the perfect title because of the amazing photo that I was able to capture out there. I'm going to go ahead and use my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive and with my little tip there, and put that down over the photo, which I really like that look. I love having either a wood veneer or like words or script or something over a photo. I love the look, and I was trying not to cover up too much of the photo. I'm just adding some enamel dots and I'm moving them around because I'm indecisive once again. And but no, I just like the look of that over the photo, and I didn't want to, like I said, cover up too much of the photo. So adding some of those. Yeah, so this was a fun layout, and I've been meaning to get it up for you guys, and I finally had some time today when I was feeling pretty good, and I thought I would get it up because it's a long weekend, and I actually have 4 days off from work, so that's actually quite a nice treat. So here, a little black dot in the middle of those gold little embellishments, because I just thought it kind of got lost there, so I thought the black kind of drew your eye to that. And then a few more little black dots. I use these on everything. I just love them because I just think that sometimes if you find that something's getting lost on the page, you can add a little bit of those and they just make it stand right out. So I just did a little bit more distressing on the edges there, just to add a little bit more kind of a grunge look, which I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just the way that I wanted it to look. And yeah, and I kind of folded the edges just to give it kind of a messy folded look. And I was gonna distress it with my distress tool, but I decided against it. So here is a little gold Heidi Swapp shine, color shine, and I wanted to go ahead and add some splatter, paint splatter here. And then after this gold, I go ahead and add some black. And I always use my big paintbrush for the black because I like the big blacks, bold splatters, and I love the way that looks. And I love the contrast of colors in this layout. Like I said, I had a lot of fun, and these are kind of my colors. I love blacks and grays and golds, and I also love bright colors, but I think that just for some reason these colors just really went well. And I was just showing you that was my Mr. Huey's, and it was the, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's pretty much just the black. So here I am, and just adding some more splatter, and I'm going to add some photos for you guys at the end, and I hope that you enjoyed my layout, and I hope to be back at some point doing another 12 by 12, and I hope that you guys are having an awesome long weekend. Take care. Bye, YouTube.